Hey y'all, hey, welcome to But Also, the Real Talk podcast for real life moments. And if this is your first time joining me, I'm your host, G Dazzle. And some of y'all know me as G Daz, but most of y'all just call me G, your girl, your friend, your sis, who is here to keep it real with ya. And so, with that, this podcast is all about diving into life's little moments that don't always fit into a neat box because life isn't always black and white. Here, we talk about the gray, both sides of the coin, where two truths can exist. Those yes and moments of life. Like, Women's History Month is now here, but also like Shaka and Whitney said, I'm every woman, y'all. So here we like to keep it light, keep it real, keep it all the way honest. And we'll get some laughs, a couple of kikis, and maybe even a moment or two where you say, dang, G, you just gonna read my life like that? Yes. Yes, I am. Because we are all living the same life, boo, and that is okay. So whether you're here figuring it all out or just trying to make it through today, I got you. So let's talk about the highs, the lows, and all of the messy moments in between. All right, y'all, let's get into it. All right, y'all, today's episode is extra special because we're kicking off Women's History Month by celebrating boss chicks who are shattering glass ceilings. And I could not think of a better way to start than with my first guest. Not only is she a STEM powerhouse, but she is also a 2024 Black Engineer of the Year Science Spectrum Trailblazer Award winner. She is an HBCU grad from Southern University, a dedicated mentor to young boys and girls in STEM, and an active member, and must I do say, my soror as well, of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And basically, y'all, she is making history right now, and we are here for it. So with that, join me in welcoming Courtney Russell to the podcast. Woo!
Okay, so first and foremost, I appreciate the intro. You made me feel like a superstar, a celebrity. I'm like, oh my gosh, she read the whole entire correct STEM winner and everything. I'm like, some people thought I was an engineer of the year. I'm like, no, one day. But
because you are a superstar. You are a superstar.
Thank you,
yes, you are super welcome, girl. Super welcome. And here's the thing, y'all. If you've been listening and rocking with me for a while, you know, I'm going to celebrate and elevate you. Like, there's no feat too small, too little, or anything because we don't get it enough. So if we can get it from our village, from our community, who we going to get it from? So I'm going to celebrate and elevate you. So if I made you feel like a superstar, the superstar that you are, good.
That made my night. That made my week. So I appreciate it.
You are welcome. You are welcome. So with that is a great segue into my first question. Courtney, how does it feel to be out here making history and inspiring the next generation of women in STEM?
You know what? It feels great. I will say that just last year, being able to receive that award and to be able to still mentor young women in general, it's just been an honor because what it is that I want to see us young people, us African-American people to just be successful. I mean, times have changed and we're at the point now where we got to do better in life. So I always do my best to just work with the youth, work with young women. Like right now, I'm a part of this youth program called Rites of Passage through my chapter, the St. Louis Metropolitan Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. We're about to wrap up this program. I mean, this is just in time because we have their upcoming Java Walk next Sunday, and then they have their ceremony this coming Sunday. So these young ladies, we have 13 young ladies, and they have gone through this 6-month program where they're learning about finances, get prepared for college. We also helping them raise money. Like, girl, I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, we done raised about almost $25,000 already with these girls.
25,000. First of all, round of applause because any type of fundraising in general is never easy. And especially when you're hitting thousands,
it's not.
Kudos to the chapter and everyone involved because I know that was no easy feat at all. I know it wasn't.
Not. And it takes a lot of work too. Like the parents have to get involved as well too. So kudos to the parents. And then, yes, kudos to the young ladies, to our community as well, because it takes a village. It takes a village to make sure that these young women are doing the right thing, that they are being guided the right way as well too. And then being able to like allow them to reach out to us if they have any issues. Cause I always tell these girls like, look, once you're done with this program, we're still gonna be here for you. We're still gonna be here. So don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to ask questions because we also have mentors in this program too. We match with different mentors that we feel be best for them depending on their personalities. Because, we have some girls that's shy. We have some girls that might be a little bit, might want to tone down a little bit. So we kind of match with the right women that can kind of get them together and get them prepared. So I'm just grateful. I love being a part of this program. I've been doing this for about 7+ years now. So I've been a mentor myself. So I love it.
I love it even more. And it's such a thing that is needed amongst our young ladies and just the youth in general, that mentorship. And girl, I mean, honestly, you probably just answered a couple of my other questions that I had, but it's all good because we're still going to chat and chew with it. And I love to hear the passion behind you speaking about it, because that is something that truly comes through. And I know that it's something that I know you don't take lightly. And we don't have enough of that in our community in terms of those who are willing to provide that type of mentorship from the heart and from a genuine place. And so, as like I said, just hearing you talking about it, like, it just makes my heart smile. Like, yes, girl, we need more of it. So yes, keep doing this, sis. I love it.
Thank
you. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. And so, well, thinking about that, like I said, in the intro that I gave, as from one HBCU proud to another HBCU proud, let's kind of talk about that Southern University experience, because I know how hard you rep, loudly and proudly, and I'm here for it. So how would you say, like, your time there at Southern, how did it shape you into the powerhouse that you are today?
Listen, well, first and foremost, I am originally from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So
You better rep it.
yeah, been born and raised in that area. So I've been a part of Southern University culture since I was a child. My mom graduated from there. My sisters graduated from there. My dad, he graduated from there as well too. So it's been a part of my culture since I was a baby. So just being, just attending there decades ago, being able to just attend like the different homecomings, and of course getting the experience of being around people that look like me, being able to engage with professors who are there to help individuals like myself. And then what I love about being in the HBCU is that whenever you are in a classroom, it's not a big, large classroom where you got like hundreds of people in there. It's like small, it's intimate. You're able to engage with the professor and stuff, and you're able to ask questions and they're able to engage back with you. You don't have to just wait for a response to come back. Like, it's a big difference. And I'm saying this like heavily because I've also attended a non HBCU for grad school, and it's a big difference. I'm not gonna lie. Not only that, it's just being able to like get into the culture of like seeing so many different organizations out doing positivity things, and hearing the band, hearing that wonderful band. Shout outs to the Human Jukebox. Oh my gosh, just hearing that good music at the end of the day. So overall, just getting that experience from Southern, it has allowed me to appreciate, how should I put this? It allowed me to appreciate being Black. That's pretty much how I could just sum it up. It allowed me to appreciate the experience of enjoying the culture with my own people, should I say. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's all I can pretty much wrap it up.
You are preaching to the choir, because similarly to your experience, that was mine as well. I had the privilege of attending an HBCU for undergrad, and for my master's, I too actually went to a PWI as well. So I totally agree. There is a difference, especially from a cultural background versus just the feel of it. I totally agree. My HBCU experience is one that I wouldn't trade for the world. It definitely made me into the woman that I am now, and just being, surrounded by my culture, and all of us, who may have come from the same backgrounds, whether you were first generation or if you had an impoverished background. It's just like there was still something special within all of us, and we were all here for the same goal of education. And it's just like, oh, wait, I'm not the only Black person in the classroom. It's more than just 3 of us, or even outside of the classroom, having those communities and networks. And like you said, those organizations of people around you in big numbers for me, that was a little bit of a culture shock. I'm originally from Omaha, Nebraska. And yes, for those who are not familiar, there are Black people in Omaha, but it is a small town. And so that wasn't my experience growing up. So to leave Nebraska and then go to an HBCU was almost like a little bit of a culture shock, but in a good way. And note now, and this is not digging anything against my master's experience that I got from the PWI that I attended. For those who are not familiar with PWI, it stands for predominantly white institution. Or if we want to be even more PC, non-historically Black university. So it's just like, I still very much value the education that I got from that experience as well, because I felt like it prepared me for the real world that we reside in, which is, not one that where the minority is the majority and almost the flip. So I felt like I got the beauty of both worlds. So girl, in short, I feel you. I feel you. And so I couldn't have said it any better myself. Like it's big facts. And that's something that I can definitely walk away with from my experience is being the feeling of being proud to be Black, but being Black out loud even more so, and that it was okay. And it made me even more prideful for it. So
Right. And I
I
just
feel
want to add
that.
one more thing because I'm not giving my school a lot of kudos and praise because let's keep it real. We got Bayou Classic where we play against Grambling State University,
Okay.
and
Okay.
that's every year during the Thanksgiving break. We go to New Orleans, we play against them at the Superdome and stuff. So that's also one thing I do value as well, is just being able to just bond with other people within a different HBCU as well too. So and then just to get more into like the career side of things, one thing I do appreciate when I was attending Southern is that we had these wonderful career fairs, which is how I got to Boeing. And Boeing came and they were able to do interviews and stuff. And at that time, by that time when I got to Boeing, I was able to go back to my school and get back into do interviews for other students as well too. So it's just a blessing. Like I definitely appreciate the opportunity of graduating from Southern, being able to give back as well. So yeah, just pretty much being able to give back whenever you working for a company that can come back to the school and offer the same opportunities that was given to you. So yes, I definitely appreciate that when it comes to my HBCU. So
Yes, I love that. And that was actually, I'm so glad that you ended with that statement talking about Boeing. And those who are not familiar, Boeing is the company that she actually works for. And they actually, I'm going to let you say what in like your snapshot sentence of what Boeing is or what it does for those who may not be familiar.
So let's see. Boeing is pretty much a multi-international company. We pretty much build airplanes, we build jets, we build missiles, weapons, you name it. And I've been working for that company for about going on 14 years now. I'm currently a senior project manager. I've done several programs. I won't get too deep into the details, but pretty much I'm
No,
a
that's
senior
fine. Yeah.
project manager. And been loving what I do. I've done a lot of things for the company. I've held I've held several positions outside of the actual work environment where I did some D&I stuff. I've also helped lead the Family Day event back in 2023. That was pretty fun, where we were able to host over 20,000 people in St. Louis to come see all of our jets that we made in the St. Louis area, and they got a chance to do tours. So again, yes, I've been working for the company for 13 years, and Boeing is located like nationwide and internationally. We got sites in Australia, India, Japan, like it's everywhere. So yeah.
Y'all hear it. Internationally known. So, thank you for that little snapshot of Boeing and the work that they do. And that's such a great lead way into my next question here. And especially with Boeing, in terms of being able that one company that builds, basically you build it, you name it, they build it, planes and all of those wonderful things. And in that engineering aspect. So if we think about it from that perspective and thinking about little Courtney, let's take her back. Was she always into science, tech, and like the engineering world? Or was there like a different dream before the STEM came into play here?
Great question. So I do have a degree in computer science. That's where my background originally started. I'm mostly IT. So I've been working with computers since I would say, yeah, little Courtney, like 10 years old. Like I'll go into a computer and I'm just typing away, and then I wanted to like learn about how they create these programs I'm playing on, like these little, what is that, Oregon Trail back in the day, girl? I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
Look, this one I
My character
ate.
always died of malaria or a damn snake bite. They never made it to the end of the Oregon Trail. Oh,
Right, girl,
girl,
we
got
showing our age.
PTSD from that child.
But to your point though, like I always want to learn, like, okay, how did they make that happen? How do they make these little trails move and stuff like that? So I would say when I got to high school, I was able to take a course. It was a programming course, and it taught me how to, like, do the simple Visual Basic coding, and it taught me how to just, create a game where you can like turn this particular block red and turn this particular shape a different shape. It was just a lot. So I got more intrigued into it, and then I said, okay, you know what, Courtney, let's major in computer science. So fast forward, going to Southern University, major in computer science. After doing so many years of just doing a lot of programming languages, because I graduated and went to work for a company, CenturyLink, where I did more database work for their telephone books and everything. So I did a lot of programming in that. Then fast forward, got to Boeing, and then I started doing more system analyst work. So after a while, it got a little boring to me. So I said, Courtney, let's start thinking more of a business side of things.
Yeah.
So get ready. Like, it was pretty much leading me into project management overall. So I go from programmer to systems analyst to now project manager. And overall, it allowed me to appreciate the idea of organization, of planning, of scheduling, of understanding the budget of things, making sure that we save money for the company, making sure that we get this delivered on time. It's kind of scary at the same time too, because I love doing it so much to where I'll bring it to like my personal events. Like if I'm planning a party, I'm like, okay, I need to make sure that this cake gets ordered by a certain time frame, and I need the cake to be ready by this time,
Thank you so much for sharing your journey and your background and all of the pivots and turns and swirls, and just basically kind of giving us insight to where you started to where you are. And now look, you're like we said, winning major awards, breaking barriers, learning new things, and leading in a male dominated industry. So, you spoke on it a little bit, but what would you say would be like, what's been the biggest lesson that you've learned on this journey?
Okay, I'm about to go spiritual on you right now, because
Give
honey,
me.
it's a
Give it
journey.
to me.
Because you mentioned about leading in a male dominant. I'm not quite there yet, but that's
Okay.
my goal.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna lie, it's been a challenge, especially with so much going on with the company right now. We ain't gonna go there. I mean, it's all over the news. Everybody knows it's been layoffs, but long story short, I just thank God that I still got a job. But long
Yeah.
story short, what I've learned overall in this journey is just trusting God's plan. There has been many times I have taken that pen from his hand, and then he'll jerk it back from me, and he'll put me back to where I need to be. And it's a reason behind it. And when I see what has happened, I'm like, okay, God, I see what you're doing. All right, I'm gonna stay still. I'm gonna be still. So just throughout the 13 plus years of working for this company, it has allowed me to trust his plan and to be patient and to continue to be great at what I'm doing and to get even better in what I'm doing. So that's what I have to learn.
I love that. I love that so much. And how's that saying go that you could have your plan, but then there's God's plan, and then like there's if you ever want to tell God a joke, tell him your plan or the timing, but his timing is always on time at that.
Yeah.
So it's just like that's what was going through my mind or through my head as you were talking about that. And that's so true. It's so true. And layoff culture is real. It's so real, and I feel like it's been such a thing, especially over the last I'm going to go out and say for the last 3 years, maybe even a little bit before, but we've really seen an uptick of it over like the last year and a half or so, right? And so it's something where that security that we all once felt and had, we don't feel it as much. So it definitely makes you appreciative, if you still do have your role and what's been happening in your world. And nothing against those who I'm going to say have been released or have been released to transition to something that's more along their path.
Right.
Go for it. But no, it's just like to know that you're still in that position and you're still able to make change and still be present. Like
Okay.
that, I mean, that's definitely not something to be taken for granted. So, honey, yes, girl, God's plan.
Yeah.
Even in the times we may not understand it or know where it's coming from, and just when we think we have it down pat, it's like, okay, Lord, like I see how you moving. What you trying to tell me right now? What do I need to do? What's going on? um, so as we did talk about your journey, especially you being the trailblazer that you are, and you touched on this a little bit in terms of like your community involvement and even with work. Like I said, you're out here mentoring, you're volunteering, and you're making time for the community, and you're still doing all these great things work wise. How does Courtney balance all of that? Because that's a lot. Like nothing you said seems like anything is a little piece of time. It all sounds like a time commitment. And so it's just like, how are you balancing everything?
Let me tell you, no, that's a great question because you would think I'll be driving myself crazy by now, but nah. I just take time for myself. I go to the gym at like once work is done, I'll go to the gym, I'll meditate a bit, pray. And I would definitely just spend time for me. Like it's I mean, y'all might think that I'm busy all the time, but trust and believe, once Courtney is done, she gonna shut down. She gonna shut down, she gonna take her naps. She gonna get her little glass of wine,
Come
just
on
kind of
now.
unwind a little bit and go from there. Because there has been a time, and I won't be too long, that I overdid it, to where I end up having an anxiety attack. My blood pressure was high as well. My heart was just going so fast. I had to go to the ER,
Yeah.
and that was pretty much of me carrying so much on my plate. So just to go back of also how I balance things, I delegate. So even if I'm leading events or if I'm doing things for the community, for the mentors, but I'm just going back to how I, pretty much balance things out. I delegate. I delegate a lot to my fellow team. If there's something that needs to be done and I cannot do it, I'll say, well, hey, so and so, can you do this for me? Or can you look this up for me? Like, I'm not going to put all this on my plate because that's how you'll stress out. And I tell a lot of my colleagues that as well too. Like they like to get things done. They like to handle a lot. And then they end up having like a nervous breakdown to where they out sick the next day. So I always remind them and to my mentees, like, hey, don't do too much. Take a break. It's okay. It's okay. Because one thing about me, I'm going to put a 30-minute block on my calendar at work. I'm going to go walk around just to get away because I'm like, I can't stare at this computer all the time. So that's
Yes.
how I do it.
No, good for you. Good for you for doing that and setting that time out. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that because it's something that I don't feel we as women or even black women, but just, I'll even just say as women in general, that we do enough of is making that time for ourselves. It's very easy for us to put on our superwoman cape and try to do everything and manage it all. And it does get to the point where we've taken so much on to where we do get anxiety. And like I said, and you're preaching to the choir. Like I always call myself like head of the anxiety club.
Sure.
And welcome to type A personalities anonymous because my inner type A, my organizer spirit, like my inner perfectionist, if I let her loose all the way, baby, I will drive myself crazy into all types of a panic and anxiety attacks because I have this vision in my head of how I want things to be, and I'll put this pressure on myself of how it quote unquote should be. And that should will carry so much weight where I have to sometimes ask myself, okay, G, who said that? Who
Right.
said it had to be to this level? Who said it had to be this perfect? Or who was looking at the devil of these details? Are they really, or is this a you thing? Now, of course, we're not going to half-ass do anything. We're not saying that.
No, absolutely
We're
not.
not going to say
Absolutely not.
that. However, we are going to allow ourselves grace in those in-between times and realizing that it is okay to have help or accept help or like
Mm.
you said, even delegate that so you're not taking it all on. What was the percentage? Oh, like for as women, like we're given 97%, was it? We're long gone are the days of 110%. Like, no.
Girl.
We've been doing it so much, like you get burnt out and you get tired. I'm like, no, 97% is where I'm sitting.
Right.
I'm still going to do my job. I'm not going to overachieve. I'm not going to underachieve. But no matter what, we already have to do twice as much already. And even thinking about that, like, let's be real. Like, one, being black, being a woman, and even more so as we think about your field in STEM, I feel like it does come with its set of challenges. And you spoke on it a little bit in terms of just like the path that you're on and the path that you're charging your way to. do you ever feel like you faced moments where you felt like you've had to prove yourself twice as much just to be taken as seriously in your role, or just, within your industry in general, to kind of, pave those roads for yourself?
You see how I'm leaning to the side right now? Because,
Yeah.
girl,
Sometimes a
that's how I
good
say this.
lean is all it takes.
It's the lean, girl. So again, going back to my statement of trusting God's plan, I said to myself, okay, Courtney, you've been with this company for 14, almost 14 years. You should be at this level right now, But instead, you like right here, which is okay, because you're still doing great. You're still, making moves. You're still accomplishing things, and you went above and beyond. And people know who you are. You're getting these awards, but you still right here. So it has been frustrating, trust and believe. But back to what I stated before, I'm just grateful to still be able to work and still be able to do the things I love to do. And I know for a fact that God has me where He wants me to be. And in due time, He is going to move me into where I need to be within the company. And, who knows? There's going to be something else that might magically happen. Who knows? But I'm just doing what I have to do, just doing the best I can overall within God's timing, too.
And that's all that you can do. That's all that you can do. And something that you said, that really resonated with me. And I think this is something, honestly, and thank you actually for just sharing that transparency of your thoughts and feelings, and just in general, because that's not something that's always easy to talk about. And I think it's discussions that we don't talk about it enough as Black people, but even as women in general, especially as it comes to our roles and whatnot, having that comparison mentality where it's just like, like I said, that should word, where it's just like, I'm looking at somebody else who may be standing next to me, and we may have the same qualifications or have taken semi the same paths, but because of who they are, if they're a man, or if they are someone who is not part of the BIPOC family, then their experiences oversee mine. And it's just like, I start comparing, like, well, wait a minute, this is where I should be at this point. And sometimes that should overshadows what we've already done and how far we've come. And I love the fact that you choose to lean into your spirituality and to also lean into that grace that God has for us, because, girl, it's easy. It is so easy to want to swim in the negative. It is so easy to want to be in that I don't want to call it a misery mindset, but a woe is me.
Yeah,
That
mindset.
it is that misery mindset, that woe is me. How come my life doesn't look like that, or how come so and so achieved that, or they got that job, or how come I didn't? Versus, not always realizing that there is somebody else out in the world, whether you know it or not, who's looking at you like, dang, how come my life ain't like hers? Well, how come I don't have these things, or she's going here and I'm still not there? So It's just like, it's real easy to get caught up in that. And so that's what I said, bless your mental strength and that mindset that you have to be like, you know what, I choose to have a gratitude mindset, because, as cliche as it may sound, and my mom always told me this as well, where it's just like, it could always be worse. It could always be worse. And somebody else's misery is somebody else's glory. And it's just like, and even then, don't let the smooth taste fool you. I don't look like what I've been through. Like, all you see is the glory. You don't always know the story.
Oh, that is bars. Come on.
I'm going to drop them every now and again.
Yeah.
But that is so true, though, because, and it's just like, we just don't talk about it enough. And I think it's something that is more relatable than we realize. And it's probably one of those secret conversations where we rather kind of, be miserable in secret, or I always say, like, cry in secret of like, oh man, I am going through, but I just don't know how to express it, because then it does make me come off ungrateful or unthankful for what I do have. I'm not saying that. I'm very thankful and grateful for what I have and blessings in my life. However, it is still okay to want more for yourself, to be in that abundance that God had already set for you, and you just need to claim it and go after it. And sometimes that road just looks a little bit different. So, and all of that to say, which is why I continue to celebrate and elevate what may seem small to others, or that they may think is just like, oh, it's just another Tuesday. I'm like, no, it's not. It is not another Tuesday. It is a you day, because you did that. And even though with yourself, and like, to me, I feel like you have such a humble heart, and even how you talk about yourself is very humbling. I'm like, oh my gosh, look, I just hear her just as humble. And bless your heart for it, because it's just like you may still feel like you have a ways to go, but with your mindset of that type of journey already, you're already preparing your shoulders for somebody else to stand on and paving the way, just like whoever shoulders you're standing on has done for you. And so it's just like, it feels like I got a long journey, but I was like, girl, you've already opened the doors for so many others and you don't even realize it yet. That's why I say shatter those glass ceilings. Like, every little movement counts. And that's what's just like, well, if anybody else said it, I'm proud of you.
No,
I am
I
proud of you
appreciate it.
for going through all of it. So, and I know that it hasn't been an easy journey, especially with the climate of things now. I can only imagine what that's like. So I am proud of you, and I will also keep you in my prayers for continued endurance and strength and growth in the way that you want it to happen for you.
I appreciate it, sis, and I will keep you in my prayers. I mean, I'm enjoying this podcast. Child, you over here just got me all up and just up, got me really up right now. So I pray that
And
this
it's up, and it's
podcast
up, and
get
it's
me
up.
right. Oh,
Oh, come on now. Come on
look,
now. Don't start.
look,
Y'all,
look,
now,
look.
y'all don't understand. Those who are listening, me and Courtney go back, y'all. So we clowns. What you hear right now is just clowning and good time, and we can do it all day long, okay? Because that's the type of a relationship that we got. So I just had to let the people know, give them a little insight real quickly. And so, no, thank you. I receive your words as well. Like,
Yeah,
full-heartedly. Full-heartedly? Wholeheartedly.
Harley. Yeah, we know what you was
Fully
talking about.
with my whole heart. How about
Yeah.
that? Oh my gosh. Well, and even as we continue to celebrate and elevate, and I mentioned earlier about the shoulders that we stand on and things of that sort. When we're talking about what you do in general, like I said, the history that you're making, because we're all making history in our own way, who would you say are some of the women in STEM or just in general that have inspired you along the way?
This one lady I adore so much, and she's also a soror.
Okay.
She's a retired Boeing employee, a VP, and
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, she need to be on this show because she got it going on, child. But her
All
name
right.
is Norma Clayton. I met her. I was introduced to her by another soror. That's fun. We had a lot of deltas at Boeing, but I met her
I
through
love
another
that.
soror, and I think I want to say it's like around 2016, 2015. It's been almost 10 years. What I love, and I still talk to her to this day. What I love about her is that she inspired me to do better. Like, pretty much put me at where I'm at now. Like, she inspired me to just do better. She challenged me as well too to, like, go above and beyond. And then not only that, she helped me with my finances too. Like, she introduced me to the right finance people to get my money together.
For real, for
Then
real.
she's like me. She loves to travel. Like, this lady loves to travel. Like, she goes. I think she's about to go to Antarctica. Have fun with that. I'm not about that life. That's too cold. But yeah, she's
I know that's
out
right.
living her best life, and she's amazing. Very sweet lady, and she always keeps me together. Because I will say, going back to what you mentioned about sometimes we might have a moment. I would say I had that moment like recently where I had to call her, and I'm just like, Norma, I'm just not happy what's going on. I'm a little concerned about my future, and I just need some insight from you. So she gave me the one, two, threes, uplifted me, because at the end of the day, we got to uplift each other. So I
Yeah.
would say she's one. And then second, of course, is my mom, who's also sore.
Yes,
My
yes. Come on,
mom.
Legacy Club. I had to call her out because
Yeah.
she has a Soror mama, like I got a Soror mama. So we're
Yeah.
Legacy Clubs, meaning that our mothers are part of the same organization that we are in, and they came before us. So had to shout us out one time, one time.
Right. Exactly. Now, my mom is not a STEM person. She's education. She did special education for years, and then she retired. But she's also a woman that not only has been inspiring me, but she prays for me all the time. She makes me laugh. Like, this woman has no bars. Like, she's gonna say what she gotta say and keep it moving. But the thing is that she has so much wisdom in her. Because she lived that life, and she's here to share the wisdom and knowledge to me and to my friends as well too. So overall, I truly appreciate. I'm trying to cry. Don't have me crying, girl. But I truly appreciate the fact that she's still here on Earth and that she's still well and that I could talk to her every day. In fact, she just called me not too long ago. I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna call you back." So, but yeah, she's definitely one of the women that I just adore, appreciate, and just every time I come home, I'm always grateful just to be around her and to just spend that quality time with her because, I'm in St. Louis, she's in Baton Rouge, so we're so distant. So, yeah.
If it's one thing I understand about that mother-daughter relationship is definitely how much I understand that. Similar to you, my mom, that's my heart, my whole heart, my left arm, my heartbeat. And I too do not take it for granted that I have my mother here with me today in sound mind and body, and that I am able to talk to her and hug her and love on her, where I know that I have close friends who no longer can't. And we know we're at that age and stage now. So it's just like those moments of bonding together. I definitely don't take for granted and treasure them with a little bit more grace and patience now, because I know that there's going to be a day where I'm going to miss them like crazy. And child, every time I think about it, I'm like, y'all going to find me in a corner rocking somewhere. Oh, y'all going to find me in a straitjacket rocking somewhere. Like, Lord, come get her off the floor. But
Right. And then, are you the only
so
child as well?
I am. I
Yeah,
am the
me
only
too.
child.
And that's
So
the way it is. We some spoiled little goods, and yeah, we like right here on our mama's like, you ain't going nowhere.
okay. Yes. And I always say this to my mom as well, especially because there's been times where we'll talk about something and she's just like, I was praying about you, or for this to happen in your life, or for this outcome. And I'm just like, thank you. I always say thank you, God, for a praying mama, because ain't nothing like it.
That
Ain't nothing
part.
like a praying mama, especially when you got somebody, a prayer warrior. I feel like she got a special connection. But
Of
when
course.
you got a prayer warrior praying for you, even at times, at those dark moments where it's just like you may not be able to pray for yourself. I said, God bless me with the praying mama. So, girl, honey, trust me, I get it. You ain't said nothing slick to a can of oil with that one. I get it. So, yes. Well, shout out to Miss Norma and to Mama Sarah as well, for the women in your life that have inspired you. Now, on the flip of that, because now you are that inspiration to young girls watching or listening or just tuning in or present in your world. So with that in mind, what advice would you give the little girls who dream of a career in STEM but don't see enough faces that look like theirs?
So first things first, let's see. I want to make sure I say the right words. So Lord, speak through me.
Okay.
Love what you do first and foremost. Be passionate what you do as well.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask questions when it comes to difficult situations. Like if you don't understand an assignment that's given to you, there is no such thing as a dumb question.
Mm-mm.
And when it comes to STEM in general, go above and beyond of learning new things. Because technology changes every doggone day. Science
Every
changes
day.
every day. Engineering, Lord, now see that's a different level. I work with engineers, but that changes every day. But overall, I would say for my young African American women that's interested in STEM, do what you like to do. Do what you love to do. If you want to go into engineering, if you like to deal with taking parts out and putting back together, do it. If you want to learn how to code, program, do it. Don't ever lose interest or lose focus, because at the end of the day, it can help you in a long way. Because I'm going to be open and honest. Like, you might start your career, or you might start up in college doing this one particular major, but then when you get to your career, you're going to switch it out, because that's what happened to me. But at the end of the day, you're going to still have that knowledge that, okay, I still got this background in me. I'm going to still utilize that background into what I'm doing today. So stay focused, stay on top of it, and just enjoy living the moment of STEM. And also get the experiences as well. Experience is always important too, especially when it's time for you to get that career. So if you're in college right now and you're getting close to graduation, excuse me, make sure that you have some kind of experience, whether it's within a school or within another company, like an internship or something, because that always helps a long way. Keep your GPAs up. I'm telling you right now, go above a 3.0 as much as you can, because companies do look at that.
Yes, they do.
And just continue to study, continue to achieve, and hey, you're on your way. And network, talk to people. That's how you get your door.
Yes.
You get your foot in the door, actually. So
Yes, sorry, I had to double down on that one, because how's that phrase go? Your net worth is your network, or your network is up.
your
I think
network
it's
is your net worth.
There
I
you
think.
go.
Is it?
Yes,
Okay.
that one. And sometimes, a lot of the times, especially in the real world situations and just in life, because it's not always a straight black and white linear line. And sometimes
Mhm.
it is about who you know in the room versus what you know in the
That part.
room. And that relationship management. Oh, child, look, that one, that's the real gem right there. If you don't do anything else, I always say make sure that you are kind and considerate to everyone you come across and do not burn bridges, because
That
you
part.
never know who is going to pop back up in your world in a boomerang type of fashion that may have something that you need that pours into or benefits you or vice versa. And best believe if you burnt that bridge, they're going to
Mhm.
remember that. They're going to remember that. But if you didn't, they're going to remember how kind you were to them and be like, hey, you know what? Come holler at me. I got something
Right.
for you. Don't even worry
Exactly.
about it.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to lose the attitudes, ladies. Lose the attitude. Stay positive. Whatever's going on behind closed doors, leave it there, or
Mm.
bring it to the altar.
Yeah, facts, big facts, because they not gonna have time for it. They not gonna
Mm-mm.
have time for it. So, oh yeah. Well, Courtney, first of all, round of applause, because that was everything. That was some really solid advice, whether you for little girls or grown women in
Yeah.
general. That was solid advice. So I am here for it. So, okay. Now we've come to the segment, the part of the show where we do our little rapid fire. We got some rapid fire questions for you. So we got a little mix of like a little bit of STEM, a little bit of travel. So Courtney, are you ready for the rapid fire question segment?
No, like I got to answer it fast, like this rapid. I hear rapid fire.
Yes, that's how it
Okay.
goes. You got to answer fast. So I'm going to ask you a question. It's going to be like a this or that, either or question, and you have to pick one. And so
Okay.
whatever the first one that comes to mind, you have to, that's the one, that's the choice.
Okay.
It can't be oh, well, does it have stipulate? There's no follow-up questions. This is
Okay.
you just gotta pick one.
Okay. Let's get it.
Okay, all right. So first question. All right. So lab coat or power suit?
Power suit.
Okay. All right. So debugging code or troubleshooting a project issue?
Lord, troubleshooting a project issue all day. I love it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So as we talk about, so since you went the project issue route, so thinking about project deadlines, stick to the plan or pivot as needed.
Stick to the plan.
Oh, oh, so you don't like no curve? Okay. All right. No
That's my
curveballs. All
problem.
right.
That's my problem right there. But go ahead.
Okay. All right. All right. Here's another one. If you could automate one everyday task in your life, what would it be?
Automate one task, girl. Walking my dog, shoot, take him out. Cause I mean, whether it's raining or hot,
Mm,
go automate that. Go ahead. I'll wait till you come back. So yeah.
that's a good one. No, that's solid. That's solid. I dig it, because I'm pretty sure there are some days that puppy body clock versus your body clock is not always on the same clock. Yeah. Yeah.
Especially
No.
today, it was raining all day, and I'm just like, he don't want to go outside. I don't want to go outside. So how we gonna make this work?
No, he don't want to go. I don't want to go. So I guess we're not going.
I mean, he had to go because he ain't gonna go in my living room. So
Period.
you gotta
Period.
take a little risk. So yeah, go automate
Oh
that
my
dog walk.
gosh. Yes, that is big facts. So those who may know me or may not know, I have had dog slash puppy fever for like years. And one of the things that has stopped me from getting a dog is, and it's probably more in my head than anything else, but it has stopped me from getting a dog, is one, like the places that I've been to. I always want to make sure that I was in a place that I had enough space for the dog and also time. I do a
Mhm.
lot of traveling, so that was something that was in my head where I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to have this poor little wonderful creature here, and I'm not even here to enjoy it or love on it the way that it deserves and needs. But once I got real with myself, that wasn't the real issue. The real issue is the fact that they are a being that has to digest, but also get rid of the things that they digest. So
Mhm.
what does that mean? Is that I'm walking behind the dog to pick up its is it excrements? I'm trying to say it politically correct here.
You doing a
And
great job.
that has been the thing that has stopped me. So it's just like when you said walk my dog every day, I don't mind walking. It's the bathroom relations part of
Yeah,
the dog, where it's
yeah,
just like
pick
if
it
I
up.
could have somebody, like if there was like a tap in button for that, like boop, tap in, you got it, dog has to go, your turn. Like that's probably the thing that I would automate, because mentally I haven't gotten there yet. haven't gotten there yet. I know that sounds so terrible.
No, I mean, it's normal because, I mean, it's like a human being. They're going to poop. They're going to puke. You got to clean it up. And
see, and it's the part that clean up on aisle 5.
Yeah. I had to adjust. It just depends on the dog that you have. So you got to have patience. He taught me a lot about patience, child. I ain't going to lie, because that was my weakness. So, but yeah, that's my baby, though. He's spoiled. That is my baby. His name is Onyx. So that's my baby.
Shout out to Onyx. And Onyx is super cute, y'all. Like, if you do not follow Courtney on her socials, which we'll get from her in a second, like, Onyx is a cutie patoots. So, like, when you see, you be like, oh, yeah, no, I'd be falling in love with Onyx, too, as you would. So, yes. Okay, all right. So, let me get back to rapid fire. All right, hold on, let me see what question that I have. All right. And so, all right, so if you weren't in STEM, what career would you have pursued?
Oh, Lord. Wow, that's a toughie. If I was not in STEM, great question. I mean, it could be anything.
Anything, girl. Anything you wanted to be. Heck, I used to want to be an ice cream taster. It could be anything you wanted to be.
It could be, what you call them, little travel nomads, just travel the world and get paid for it or something. Shoot, I don't know. I wish they had that for real. Well, I guess they do. I don't know, but yeah, just travel and get paid.
That's right. I mean, because that's the life. That's all we want. I just want to travel and get paid. Like,
yeah,
that's it. Like a paid traveler or a traveler who gets paid. You know, whatever direction or way you want to say that sentence. That's all I want. That's just essentially the dream for real. So, yeah, no, that's solid. Facts. That's a solid one. So that actually goes into my bonus question of if you could teleport anywhere for a weekend getaway, because like I said, y'all may have heard me earlier. Miss Courtney is a travelnista, honey. Okay, she's wheels up, passport gang. Okay, so she is out here. So don't let the smooth taste fool you. She done been some places, seen some things, and experienced some life. Okay, and we all should get a little piece. So with that, if you could teleport anywhere for a weekend getaway, where would you go?
Well, my next trip is Bali. So yeah, if I could teleport right now, I want to go to Bali. So yeah, I just want to, I've heard so many great things. I mean, it's like Bali, Singapore, Thailand, like those areas. I just want to like explore. I've heard great things. I heard that it's beautiful and it's not expensive out there either. So yeah, that's my next destination.
So there's been a big migration from the culture out that way, because America's a little ghetto right now, but it's okay. We're working through it. We're working through it. But oh my gosh, yes, no, that is on my list too, especially Thailand. I always say, all I want to do, I just want to play with the baby elephants in the pond. That's it. Like that's all I want to do. Just like throw up a little tiny pyramid one time for the one time, and then like play with little baby elephants, because the baby elephants are so adorable. They're like big, cuddly elephants, but it's like I just want to play with the elephants. That's it.
You know, yeah, what they call the elephant sanctuary or something. Although I was told
like they got the ones in the water and then the one on land. It's like I want the wet ones. I want the wet ones. Yes. Well, Courtney, it has been such a blast with you out here just kicking it with me on the podcast. And before we wrap things up, tell the people, tell the cousins, tell the friends where they can follow you to keep up with you on the socials. Where you at, girl? Where we gonna get your followers up? Where you at?
All right, so you want to see my boring page on the plane? So
oh my gosh, far from it.
You can follow me on Instagram. So it's kind of part of my name, but it's pronounced Coriel, and I'm gonna spell it out for you all. So it's COURIE11E, and I don't know if you caught that, but the 11 is like my line number.
Y'all heard it here, so y'all better hurry up and get you one of these. Better get you one of them Coriels and follow. Y'all better do it. So, all right, y'all. That has been a wrap on today's episode of But Also, the Real Talk podcast for real life moments. And if you are feeling what you heard, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube so you don't never miss an episode. And hey, while you're at it, make sure to share it with the cousins, share it with your friends, share it with any and all who you think will get a kick out of today's episode. So don't forget to follow me, your girl, on Instagram and TikTok at but also _podcast for more real talk, behind the scenes moments, and all of the vibes in between. And thanks for kicking it with me. So until next time, keep on keeping on, keep thriving and surviving, and embracing all of your moments, the good, the messy, and everything in between. I'll holler, y'all.